Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel today. I wanted to circle back around to something we haven't talked about in a little while, and to do that with me again, we have on Tiffany with Michelle and Associates. Tiffany, thanks for taking the time.
Of course, glad to be here.
But before we get into this, I just wanted to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to all of you. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday. Be sure and like, share, and subscribe these videos. You can bring cheer to more people by helping us with the algorithms and letting people know all of these lawsuits that we are filing and how they are being successful. Now, Tiffany, I wanted to get into this because I know that you personally worked on it at length. I wanted to circle back around to the San Jose thing. And if you could describe this to us, this was an insurance scheme that the city council came up with at San Jose. But hey, now we have a new mayor. Is it time to re-educate up there? Where exactly are we in this process, and exactly how big of a disaster has it been?
Sure. Well, I think it is time to possibly re-educate the new mayor and some new council members and bring this to light, what just a disaster this whole process has been from the beginning. About 3 years ago, the city of San Jose and Mayor Liccardo at that point in time decided that it was important to try to implement a mandatory gun owners insurance and mandatory gun owner fees on the people of San Jose, the residents of San Jose, uh, in an effort to combat gun violence costs that the city was seeing. And this is problematic for many reasons, but the biggest issue is the city still doesn't know how to implement this without violating constitutional law, first of all. And there's been multiple other states that have tried to do the same exact type of ordinance or law, and they've all failed. None of them have succeeded. And these are big anti-gun states, and they've not been able to push it through. And there's several problems with it, all aspects of it, whether it's the fee or the insurance, there's just problems. The entire prospect has been a failure, just of epic proportions for the city. And the fee provision, which thankfully right now is not actually implemented. There's only portions of the ordinance that are going to be implemented in January of 2023. But the fee is not implemented right now, but that's a tax on a fundamental right, and you literally cannot tax a fundamental right. It's the issue is the Second Amendment is a right, it's not a privilege, and that's something that's really hard for seems like elected officials in California to understand. One of the council members actually gave a story when they passed the ordinance that said, well, you keep saying this is a God-given right. I went to Sunday school and I never heard about that being a God-given right in Sunday school. What are you even talking about? So because of that, I think the government can, limit this like we need to. And all the gun owners, of course, are sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? The government's job is not to give this right. The government's job is to protect the right. And that's a very harsh difference from how she was looking at it. And these are the people that are making the rules here. The other issue with this ordinance is they were supposed to institute a nonprofit. And as part of the ordinance, that nonprofit was supposed to collect fees for the city, was supposed to provide prevention programs, which, by the way, are only for gun owners because they think that gun owners evidently need millions of dollars to get counseling from a government agency, and that gun owners are going to voluntarily do this, which for most of us, we think that's really a hilarious assumption that gun owners are going to come in droves to get their mental health from the city of San Jose. And no nonprofit has been identified yet. We're in 2023, no nonprofit has been identified after a year because they know that nonprofit is going to be added directly to a lawsuit. They know the litigation risk is very high, and they can't find anybody that's willing to take on that issue. And then there's the insurance issue, which, as we know, is now implemented as of January 1st. The funny thing about the insurance issue, just that alone, there's so many problems. The mayor and the city council, they both admitted that there were so many problems at the beginning of this. They didn't even know if the insurance that they want people to get is even available. And then, we're hearing from individuals right now who have contacted their insurance companies that the insurance company is telling them if they officially ask for this insurance, they could be canceled. So imagine being a homeowner, having 30 years of being a good customer at an insurance company, and you call because you want to be compliant and you want to follow the law, and you get dropped from your insurance, you know, 2 weeks before the end of the year. It's ridiculous. And part of the issue with the insurance is the mayor and the city council were hoping that the insurance would somehow offset this this gun violence cost that the city has. But by their own numbers that the city has put out in their own report, their own independent report they did, 94% of the gun violence in their city is intentional. It's suicide, it's criminal activity, it's even self-defense shooting is intentional. Even though it's justified, it's intentional, it's an intentional shooting, intentional action. None of those are covered by the insurance that's currently available. The insurance that's currently available only covers accidental or negligent shooting. So really, the cost of the insurance is not, it's not going to offset 94% of the gun violence that they see in their city.
Well, okay. So it sounds like you're opening up a lot of people to discrimination, specifically with their insurance providers. And so what you're also saying is that the money that you're paying isn't even going to be able to be used if you get the insurance. So where would the money go?
Well, that's a huge question. The city council wanted this insurance to be able to cover, any kind of gun violence in their city. And they even mentioned the ambulance costs, the hospital costs, the cost for lost work, all these kinds of things that are, when you talk about loss of work or loss of being able to do something, those are very speculative costs. They aren't even real costs. And it's not like the insurance company is going to pay for a criminal, who broke into your home. That's not going to happen. So it's very concerning to a lot of gun owners who are caught in this kind of quagmire up there. What is this actually doing? It's not doing anything. It's not going to defer the cost that the city has. What would defer the cost that the city has is getting rid of the criminal element in the city that's causing the gun violence issues in the first place.
Well, we're definitely going to keep an eye on it as it continues to progress. Thank you again, Tiffany, for taking the time with us today and sharing this. We look forward to seeing you in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Once again, everybody, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe these videos. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible. If that happens to include the new mayor of San Jose, then so be it. We're going to look to educate him as much as possible as we look forward to this. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you on the next one.